The City of Angels is black and gold. You are listening to the Heart of LAFC podcast. And now, Joseph Zacher.
What is good, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Bam and here with Tony. Unfortunately, Joseph won't be here today. He's still under the weather, so you got me and Tony today. So, like the last time we were on, it's going to be an absolute shambles. We're going to get through it and then do what we can to inform you guys about everything that's going on, especially with Decision Day coming up this weekend. And that is why we've titled this episode Decision Day. Now, Decision Day has not been great for us in the past. Out of the 5 seasons we've been in it, so far we've had 1 win, 1 draw, and 3 losses. And to me, that's just not good enough. So going this, we need to have a win to get us on the track going into the playoffs. Before we get any further, Tony, my man, how are you today?
I am doing pretty well. Just had a nice nap. Excited for a nice week off. Sorry, you guys. I know you guys were probably waiting for a recap of Austin, but as much as the team needed a break, we needed a break. Of course, unfortunately, Joseph is not with us today, battling a quick little illness because, of course, once fall hits in California, every allergen you can think of pops up, so you get sick from something. But excited for you. Shout out to everybody who has already traveled in Vancouver. I've already seen the post. But overall, excited for Decision Day. This could be the matter of second or fourth as we will break it down.
Exactly. We'll do a quick rundown of what happened in Austin. Obviously, we all know we had a nice little win up there. Tony, you want to give us a quick rundown of everything that happened in Austin with the Austin match?
I'm down. Do you want to start with the lineups real quick?
Yeah, we'll do the lineups real quick. Obviously, with our lineup, we had Max in goal, Hollingshead, Long, Chiellini, Palacios in defense, Ilie, Bogusz, and Tillman in the midfield, and up front was Oliveira, Bouanga, and Ordaz. We rested Vela, which I think was a good decision to do. Austin, they had Stuver, Lima, Vaisanen, Cassette, Gallagher, Felicio, Ring with the defensive midfield, Rigoni, Drussi, and Finlay up attacking midfield, and Bruin up top for them. Tony, let's get into what happened during the game.
So to begin the game, we, of course, being a Decision Day, put ourselves in a very promising position after this game. As you know, the score for spoilers alert, early access, the score was 4-2 us, but it should have been more of a 4-0, except for 15 minutes that we decided to just kind of forget how to play the game and let Austin come back into it, but not really. We started off in the 13th minute, goal by Mr. Timothy Tillman, right-footed shot from the center of the box to the left bottom, assisted by Denise Bouanga. As you could tell, this was a great leadoff to the beginning. Austin fell on the sword quickly and couldn't get back. Again, this is not the Austin team that we have faced multiple times in the first half. Being in Texas, just having won in 2 years or something like that, which is kind of crazy. So to have this away game and start off with a 1-0 lead into the half, it was great. But would have been 1-0 lead until the 46th minute, where Mr. Denise Bouanga converts a penalty shot, Heist, and puts it 2-0. So goes in the first half, second half, 2-0. And yeah, that's how you go. What did your thoughts on watching the match for the first half?
For me, the first half, I think we just outplayed them. How we didn't score more, I have no idea. Obviously, the first goal by Tillman was great. The penalty, it was cleared, obviously, penalty straight away. So I don't know why the referee didn't call it to begin with, but that's pro referees for you. At halftime, I was surprised it was only 2-0. I would have expected closer to maybe 3 or 4-0, but as they say, beggars can't be choosers, so I was happy with the 2-0 into the first half.
Exactly. So moving into the second half, 54th minute, Mr. Bouanga, again, that man, that dangerous man, which is great for us and also bad for us because, as you know, throughout this whole season, we've put a lot of heavy burden on that back to score for us. So he scores in the 54th minute with a right-footed shot from left side, six box outside the box, the bottom left corner. And we had some substitutions on our side where we had Mr. Carlos Vela come in for Nathan Ordaz, and not even 7 minutes later, goal by Mr. Oliveira, a left-footed shot from the bottom right corner. And Oliveira, the whole game, even the last game, has been literally knocking at that door to score, and he's provided a lot of excitement and also very obvious goal scoring where he's just kind of shooting at the keeper instead of away from the keeper, and he finally puts it up. And it was 4-0 by that time, and kind of I felt like LAFC was like, let's pack it up, let's go, game's over. But Austin had a different idea about that because in the 75th minute, goal by Austin, and then not even that. Did I miss a goal? I think. Yeah. Oh, no, I did not. Or I did. Or they scored another second goal, and that was it. We let them. The last 15 minutes was not the greatest performance by the boys, unfortunately, and we have to wrap that up because, of course, going into Vancouver, we needed these 3 points. We needed these 3 points in Austin, so Vancouver could be a little bit easier, but we are guaranteed at least home field advantage moving into the playoffs. Overall, what was your biggest gripe with the game, Bam, and also the biggest concern for you?
No real concerns for me. Biggest gripe was obviously switching off for those last 15 minutes or so. I do have to say, the own goal by Chiellini was a good header. No keeper was going to stop that header. You can't really blame him too much on that. But for me, I think, look, going into it, we needed those 3 points. We really did, and we got that. So for me, there's no real concerns going in this match. Maybe a little bit concerned with why Acosta didn't play, but I think the Tillman, Ilya, Bogusz midfield is good enough to keep going. My biggest concern going into the next match, obviously, will be the field, because we all know Vancouver, but we'll get into that a little bit later on. But yeah, for me, I think we played how we should have played. We did what we had to do to get there with 3 points. Just that 15 minutes of time of us just not concentrating to let them score is what's hurt me the most. Now, moving on to the next bit, I think some club and community news. Tony, got anything going on there?
Well, before we go into club and community news, what is your top 3 stars for this game?
Yep.
Really, since this is going to be the second to last one before the polls finally close overall for the season.
True. For me, my stars, I'm going to have to go with 3 to Bouanga. The brace and assist is great. I'm going to go Oliveira with 2 stars. I thought he had a really good game. With the goal to help cap it off. And for the 1 star, I'm going to go with... it's a toss-up. I'm going to go Hollingshead. He had a great game in defense for most of it. So for me, the 1 star, I'm going to go with Hollingshead. What about you, Tony?
Of course, the overall 3 points goes for myself, Dini. And, overall scoring, getting to the head of the Golden Boot race into the final day was great. Oliveira would be my 2nd star because he finally broke that little wall that he's been going through, and hopefully it continues and he keeps scoring more, moving into the playoffs so he gets hot in the right way. And for my last one, I'll split it between Hollingshead because overall great match from him. It's what he expected. He's coming on at the right time. Again, we need our players to be hot in these coming moments and moving on, because playoffs are won because you have the best team and you're also on a streaking and hot. But also I would split that with Chiellini with that amazing header goal, just as a troll pick point.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Going after this week, I'll do a complete rundown of all the votes and all that for our next podcast, so we know who won and how close it was and all that kind of stuff. Now, before we get into club and community news, did you happen to have a look at the MLS player salary guide that got updated recently?
I briefly went through it. I saw, of course, Vela was top of that as always, but break it down for the listeners and people online on the show live.
Yeah, we'll go through a breakdown for listeners. Obviously, Vela is getting paid the most with a base salary of $3 million, guaranteed compensation of just under $4.4 million. Dennis Bolonga is our second most expensive player with a base of just under $2.1 million and guaranteed of just under $2.5 million. Then we've got Acosta at guaranteed 1.25 with a guaranteed of 1.36. Aaron Long and Ilya around the 1.2 mark, guaranteed just under 1.3. Chiellini, we pay him $1 million a year, and he's guaranteed $1 million, just under 1.1 million. Our new boy and Joseph's favorite player on the team, Mario, his base salary is $888,000. I don't know why he's getting that much, but he is. Oliveira, our new goal scorer, is on $650K. The same as he's going to pay the same amount as Bogusz and Buke. They're on the $650K. Down at 540, we're looking at Cheeky Palacios. At $500,000, we got Filip Krastev, same as Tillman on $500,000. A player that I forgot we had, he's getting paid $475,000, which is Janela. He's still getting paid $475K base salary.
But isn't he on loan though? So it's like technically the other team's taking that hit.
Yeah, but still, it's $475 is interesting.
Yes,
and his guaranteed is $516. His guaranteed is more than Hollingshead, who's on $515 base, guaranteed $515.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we've got Eddie Segura and Jesus Murillo are both on $450. Now this is where it gets actually interesting. Sergio Palencia, his base salary is $225,000. His guaranteed is $432,000. He's getting more than $200,000 more than his base salary this year.
I think that's probably in the contract from like what they negotiated from what he's getting bargained.
And you probably find he's hit certain metrics, his KPIs for the year to get bonuses and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm, of course.
And then you got Maldonado, who's on $355. He's getting paid $5,000 more than Max, who's on $350 base. Then we got Mbake 4, who's on $149,000, who I think now he's signed his playing contract with Barcelona B, so he'll be able to get some game time over there. But he's been over there training, but he hasn't played. I think there was some obviously contract stuff and all that kind of stuff. And then you got Tony Leone, who's on $125,000. Dueñas, who's on $125,000. Mohamed Traore, who's on loan to, I believe it's Phoenix Rising. He's on $125,000. Christian Torres is on 112,000. J Mac is on 115. Ordaz is on 85,000.
As it should be. Unfortunately, he's a youngin, so he's not going to get the biggest bucks.
He's on the same price as Danny Cristostomo. He's on 85,000. And then we've got a couple that's down on the 67,000s, like Diego Rosales and Bajung Daboe, who obviously are with the twos and all that kind of stuff. So with all that, I'm actually surprised with how low some people are. Like, honestly, I thought J-Mac would be on more than 115,000, especially this year with him being a starting keeper. But, you know, that's how contracts work. You sign him for so much, and then you go from there.
Exactly. So, after hearing all that news, who do you think is the bargain from performance-wise? And I'm not even talking about like what we signed him and everything like that. It's just more performance-wise. Who's the best bang for their buck?
Bang for the buck? I'm going to say McCarthy, J-Mac. You know, he's had a great year as a starting keeper while Mac's been off injured.
Mm-hmm.
We've paying him a base of 115,000 with a guaranteed compensation of 121,000.
Okay.
For me, there's not much there. Another, I would say, steal would be Hollingshead for 515,000. Has barely missed a game and is being locking down in the right back position. What about you?
I was going to say Hollingshead is going to be the first one that pops up to the head. Again, he produces for us, scoring goals. Again, not a defender's job to do, even though he did start as a forward in his college days. As a defender, you know, you're supposed to stop the ball and prevent goals, and him scoring goals and pushing everything forward. I feel like it was honestly, he's the best bargain. The other one, which I wish he got more playing time, and it was actually worth the bargain, are youngins, is Dueñas and Ordaz. They've been putting up numbers and actually putting up performances on the field when they get the chance. So for them as youngsters, as starting from, you know, day one of the academies and the first signees to getting promoted to the academy, then going to MLS Pro, and as well as, you know, playing with the main team, those were the ones that most people weren't talking about. Again, Torres was the one that everyone had their eyes on. Those two kind of flew under the radar through most people's eyes, not to most people in the 32 and people who have been following LAFC's youth development. So those are my picks for it. McCarthy, I there with you. But it's just because of like the last couple games before Max came in and took back his starting spot. He was not his mistakes, but there was kind of mistakes where you can see why he's not a full-time starter. And you know, there's
I do agree there. Like, I think those last couple of games, knowing that Max was pretty much back, might have got into his head a little bit, going, I've lost my spot, so all that kind of stuff. I will say, at the moment, with Mario Gonzalez on 888,000, I think we're overpaying at the moment. He hasn't shown much, so dude, we know what you're getting paid. Step up for that money. You've got to step up.
Yeah, I sometimes wish we didn't know the money, and like, you know, we didn't have to, like, because once the money is involved and you know what a player is producing, and then gaining is not the greatest thing in the world, and then you're like, what the hell? You're getting overpaid to do nothing, as you know, most people would die for that opportunity. And this is what you're a professional at any level. It doesn't matter if you're in here or anywhere else. You're a professional, and you have to put up the numbers and to earn your salary. And yeah, I understand that one season can break a salary, and then when you go in signing, it gets you, but you have to continue earning that to either keep it or keep earning more.
Exactly. I do have to say, with Bogus in the midfield, the 650, I'm happy with. I think that's not a bargain, but
Mhm.
it's leaning towards a bargain price because him in the midfield has been great.
Yeah.
Like with him in his position where he belongs. Like if we kept him up front, then I think we'll overpay him. But because he's in the midfield where he belongs and he's playing great in the midfield, the 650 is leaning towards a bargain / on point.
I agree with you.
Alrighty.
Do you, before we go into comments, let's talk about our standings so that way, people can understand where we're coming at from. With that game moving forward, LAFC has now, guaranteed their spot in the top 4. So we are guaranteed at least the home games for the first round moving forward. We'll see what happens. With that being said, for us to get second place, we have a 78% chance of taking second place. Third place, we have a 22% chance. And fourth place, we have a pretty much almost literally a 1% chance of getting that. With the Sounders, who's right below us, they have a pretty much a negative 22, like about a 22% chance of kind of guaranteeing that. Again, there's a lot of things that have to fall for them to get that, like us losing, them winning with points wise. And they have a 27% chance of getting third, 20% chance of getting fourth, 23% chance of getting fifth. And if all things do not go Sounders' ways, they have an 8% chance of going to the 6th position. The other one who is in danger of taking our spot from us is Houston. They have like I said, 1% chance of getting second place. Again, there's a lot of things that have to fall in for that to happen. Us losing, Sounders losing, et cetera, et cetera. They have also a 28% chance of getting third, 31 most likely chance of getting fourth, 26% chance of dropping out of that position and getting fifth, and first they have a 16% chance of getting sixth. So overall, us getting fourth is not that likely. But worst case scenario, Seattle beats St. Louis and the Whitecaps beat us and we finish third. That is the worst possibility that we can get. And honestly, it's like I said, like what I said last podcast, and like we all agreed on is like, as much as I know we were focused on the last 2 games, we had to focus on this one. So this one made it easier for us. And I do like our chances of getting second and, most likely getting home field advantage all the way up until the MLS Cup final. And then from there, we shall see. Again, St. Louis has to also make it up there so we don't get home field for the final. But we'll at least have to travel once. That's for sure for the beginning of the playoff. But after that, we'll see what happens moving on forward.
Exactly. So going through it too is, worst case scenario, we finish fourth. We all know that kind of stuff. For us to finish third, to like guaranteed third place, we need to either case 1, tie the Whitecaps, case 2, Sounders lose to or tie St. Louis, case 3, Houston loses or ties to the Timbers, and that will guarantee us at least third spot. Second spot, to guarantee second spot, we beat the Whitecaps, plain and simple. Or we tie the Whitecaps and the Sounders lose or tie to St. Louis, we guaranteed second spot. Case 3, Sounders lose or tie to St. Louis and Houston lose or tie to the Timbers, we're guaranteed second spot. So those are the 3 ways for us to guarantee second spot. So for that, I do have to say, let's just go out there and win. Let's leave it to ourselves and go out there and win. But we all know our history with decision days. Decision days for us are not the greatest. So going through the history of decision days for us, go back to our very first season, 2018. It was an away game to Kansas City. We ended up losing 2-1.
Mm-hmm.
That was even after Kansas City had a player sent off in the 62nd minute. We're down 1-0 up to 37 minutes. They had a player sent off 62nd. 63rd, Vela scores, and then we copped a goal in the 72nd to lose 2-1. 2019, a home game against Colorado. We actually won this one. It was a 3-1 win to us over Colorado with a hat-trick to Vela. 2020. So, yes, a COVID year. We ended up tying this game 1-1 to Portland. Vela scoring in the 5th, and us copying a 90th minute equalizer at home. We go to 2021, the infamous Colorado away game. That's all I'll say about that. And then last year, it was at home to Nashville. We lose 1-0, thanks to a 53rd goal to Nashville. So over the 5 years, we've had 1 win, 1 tie, and 3 losses. For me, we need to break that trend of losses on decision day. We need to win. What do you think about that, Tony?
The past is the past, and you can look to it to kind of gauge how the team does. But overall, hopefully we break the trend and win. That's all I want, is just to win. Go into the playoffs with on a high, beat Vancouver on that field, and secure that second place spot instead of worrying about, if this team does this and this team does that, then we get this, or if this team doesn't do this and then we get this. I like that we have the destiny in our hands. All we have to do is just win. That's all. Go in there, win by any score. It doesn't matter. By 1, by 2, and we guarantee that spot. So hopefully we break the trend. History will not repeat itself, but again, history is just kind of a gauge of what possibilities can happen and how we've performed in the past, but things can change.
100%. All right, so that's all the decision day stuff that we're going to talk about. So let's move on to club and community news. Tony, for the people that aren't going up to Vancouver, where are some of the watch parties?
So some of the watch parties have been released, and then they forgot to put it on there. But I can tell you from right now, D9U is having a watch party. As my phone is freaking out because I have all my information on my phone, like always. D9U is having a watch party at 3 p.m. at SoFi Covina at 699 South Bragantia Avenue, Covina, California 91723. It is a Halloween watch party, so potluck, pumpkin carving, kids content, and a scrimmage because of the fields. I know there is a 3252 watch party that is talk to your local leaders for those ones to understand the information. You already know, so you know where to meet up for that. And I will post more moving forward more on our socials when it comes to that, as well as for other stuff that happened. We did do the box lunch a couple last week. Thank you for all those who gave up their time and effort for them to make a lunch for the homeless and everything like that. So congratulations to you guys. And with that is all. Oh, of course, I kind of forget. Apologies. It's the Mo Facio futsal court still needs to be built. I wish I could forget about it. And we've already built it, and we're just saying, if you can help, please do this. No, but you can donate by going to lafc.com/MoFacio and make a donation of $1 to $99 for Dennis Bawanga, whatever you like. And that's about it for community news.
Thanks for that. So right now we'll jump on into the comments for everyone there. I see you all there, so we'll get on in there. And we'll get onto that. So let's start off with who we got in here so far? We've Gomez coming saying hi to everyone. We got Daniel in here. What's worse for Austin fans? Getting worked by us once again, or Wolf in? I would say getting worked by us. Wolf's a great manager. He should stay there as long as possible. He's doing great things. Bullshit. But yeah, no, I'm happy for him to stay there as long as possible. Cutie's in here. Another for Daniel. He says, don't mind Dennis having a heavy burden. Besides looking off Carlos in Messi games, he's performed well. He's able to focus on his game without the armband or being an emotional leader. Yeah, I will agree with that. He also agrees that Chiellini's goal was a banger. He's coming to see that Bogusz is a bargain. So USA, how much does the pigeon make? I don't know. That's top secret. That there. So we'll hopefully find out with some digging. We'll find out for that. Daniel says McCarthy getting the Messi jersey is nice consolation for not getting the opportunity to play with him. Dave Gomez agree with Daniel on the Dennis and Carlos take. Soccer USA starting Ordaz really seemed to do us well. Within minutes, he was already in Stuber's head. His hustle and decision making is hard to duplicate. I was hoping to see him get the nod next game. Yeah, I'd like to see him play a lot more. Ordaz has a lot of good upside, and I agree with you. He got into Stuber's head. You see Stuber wasn't too happy with him, putting pressure on him. So for that, keep doing it. Soccer USA, what would you say is LFC's superpower on the field? As in, what do we need to do? What do we do better than most teams? For me, I would say it's the way that we can gel together in the games. There's a lot of times where people automatically know where another person's going to be. Like I could have you see some of the times where Ilya's backs to Vela, but he knows where Vela is, so he knows how to pass to Vela on a quick turn and all that kind of stuff. To me, the way that the team gels majority of the games is really good. What are your thoughts on that one?
Superpower on the field, I think, is our wings. To be honest, it's always been like our superpowers because John Thornton loves his wingers. As Joseph has always says, Winger FC. If we can call it a different name for LAFC, it's going to be Wingers FC. Our lines and stuff like that, and what we can do better, and what we do better than most teams, of course, is just like sometimes finding the talent that some people can't find, and gifting them to other teams so their seasons can be better. If you talk about Rossi, as he thought he left for Fenerbahce and came back to MLS and plays for Columbus. Chicho, of course, as everyone knows, playing for Real Salt Lake. Blackman playing in Vancouver, as well as Zimmerman in Nashville as well. So those are, I feel like, what we do best in most teams.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Suppose we better get the elephant in the room. So you say thoughts on San Diego's Keebler Fudge Cookie Crest? Disappointed. I am very disappointed. San Diego Wave has a beautiful crest, and then they come out with this. Your San Diego, do better. That's all I got to say on it. Burke agrees the crest is bad. Looks like a Girl Scout cookie from Soccer USA. Here's a good one. You all think Vela retires if we don't win? I don't think he's going back to Mexico. I think we're going to keep him for one more year, and then we'll see what happens after that. I think he wants to retire on a high more than a low. What do you think? Would you agree with that, Tony? Villa retires more on a high than a low if we don't win it this year?
If he comes back, it has to be for the right paycheck. Unfortunately, I don't feel he is DP worthy at the moment, or overall in the last couple of seasons. Yes, he, as much as he is part of our history and a very club legend, I feel he needs to step down on paycheck. Going back to Mexico is very, I don't know, questionable. I don't see him going there. If again, the rumors with him is he's going back to his to Chivas. The other rumor, of course, is America wants him, so going there. And I think he retires most likely. The way everything has been setting up, the Vela bobblehead, the way he said goodbye in the last home game and everything. It's kind of pointing to the fact that it could be his time as a professional soccer player has come to an end. As you've seen, most players have been retiring earlier than most. Bale at 33, Hazard recently at 32. So he could be the next one retiring after the season.
Yeah, a couple of people replying to everyone there, and here we go from Soccer USA. Do you think the 30-52 will ever create a call and respond chant so other fans get involved? Seems like whenever the whole stadium starts chanting, I get goosebumps. Come up with one and submit it. Come up with a chant, submit it to your SG, and then they'll pass it on to the 30-52, and it's good enough. You can get up there. You might be the one that creates one. And it is on third jerseys. I don't think we'll get one this year. This one will be more for you, Tony. What are your thoughts on the new food fest of amazing food on Christmas Tree Lane? Have you tried the new food at all?
At the Fields, you mean?
I think he does.
Or are you talking about the new pop-up of vendors that have been coming up? I get there pretty either early enough for the game or I'm just relaxing and just, kind of I fast during games is the best way to say it, besides my coffee. Hopefully that they are still there during the playoffs. But from what I've tasted, it's really good. The Fields is decent, and I love they're bringing the Fields back so you have some other place to go to it. So that's all I have to say about the food on Christmas Tree Lane / Fields.
Happy birthday, Dave Gomez. Today's your birthday, so I hope you have a great day. Don't celebrate too hard, but celebrate the best you can. Everyone there wishing happy birthday. Anthony can't wait for the playoff game next week. Let's get through this week first. Let's get the win. Dave coming in. We have a lot of contracts expiring after this season. Who do you all think we'll keep? I'd like to see us keep majority of them, especially a lot of the young kids. They're the ones I want us to keep. But if as a player the money's right to go elsewhere, you can't really hate them going elsewhere. We should have locked them down a lot sooner with that. Daniel coming in here. I get that the Vela not worth a DP talk, but kind of hard to argue based on never having 3 DPs. Yeah, I agree there. Maybe there's some other ways that we can work it all out, because I'm pretty sure next season they're increasing the salary cap anyway. They're bringing that forward because the Messi effect. And Bert coming in, thinking we have a good chance of a 3rd jersey next season. You never know. What happens next year is next year. Let's keep focusing on this year. Thoughts on that, Tony?
Depending how they do it, because New York's and Atlanta's 3rd jersey has been shite, I guess. Is that a? I don't know if that's a.
Yeah,
it's been and it's the only. Okay, I know. All right, here I'll let the elephant out of the not the elephant out of the room, but the elephant that everybody wants to talk about and what color they want. Everybody wants the gold jersey. Barcelona has done the gold jersey, and everyone's seen how it's looked. With that being said, I don't know if that gold jersey would be the right fit. I do like where it gets more creative, of like where they do something very similar to what the combination of certain things, like the Roma kit again. It's a black one, but they associate the colors back to the old style, stuff like that. Or the who was else has a third or who has another third cool kit, like something that's like very unique. I would love the gold kit. I know a lot of people would love that gold kit, but I don't know how would it look in person for us, and B on the field. And what shorts would you put into it? Because we've done, what was it, the cream shorts with the black with the white shorts, and it just looked awful when we should have done black. So again, it also comes back to what shorts we wear with it too, because then that can kill the jerseys as well.
No, I do agree. My biggest thing is, and I will say now, the Atlanta third kit, I think it's absolutely terrible. The New York third kit, I don't mind. I get where they're going with it. It's a mashup with the 50 years of hip hop, so I don't mind that. Is it, oh my God, I gotta go buy it? No. If I was given it, would I hate it? No. It's a their kit. I understand where they went with it. Could have been better, yes. Could have been worse, a hell of a lot worse. So for me, I think if we're going to do a third kit, I think we've got to do something that can incorporate something to do more with LA. Like, there's an anniversary with LA, do something that incorporates that. That for me is what I think we should do if we do get a third kit. All right, so that's all the comments for now. We'll get back into them a bit later on. And now we're going to move on into
Vancouver.
We'll do the Black and Gold Vinyl Club first. We'll do that one first.
Sorry about that.
So
eventually.
Yeah. We gave this one over to Joseph. Although he's not here with us live, this is on you to do. You're missing out, so we're going to have to chuck you in here for something like that. He's come with a band from Vancouver called Metric, and the album Formenta Era, with the songs All Comes Crashing Down and Doom Scroller. If Joseph's into it, means that should be fairly good. If not, target all your anger towards him. So for this week, the band is Metric and the album is Formenta Era. So everyone go have a listen to that and then go through and let Joseph know what you think about that.
I was going to say, I have to at some point go through all these 322 episodes. Mind you, I know we started the Vinyl Club later than 322, and make a playlist of every song and album, or just song, because we always pick the song, and just make a playlist on Spotify so people can listen to what we picked over the last 2 years.
And see how many times we have doubled up without knowing we've doubled up.
Oh yeah, there's been times where we've known we double up, but it's just it's out of all the things, certain cities and states are known for that musician, and there's only one song you can really go to. There are other albums, but when you say that one artist, it's always this is his song. This is the song that made him famous and well known for. So
exactly. All right, let's get into this week's game, and that is Vancouver. Tony, how has Vancouver been going this year?
So Vancouver at the moment for their last for the year, it has gone 12 wins, 11 ties, 10 losses, with a gold with 47 points. In their last 5 games, they have tied Seattle 0-0, beat St. Louis 3-0, tied DC United 2-2, tied Rapids 2-2, and lost to Salt Lake 2-1. So they have been a very defensive but also tight-knit tied team. So it's feasible to say we can probably get some points out of this. Mind you, I say probably because they have a they have a like I've said before, moving forward, there's no easy game. They're battling for a position at the moment, at a playoff position as well as us. So, let me see. In their showing right now, Vancouver right now is technically fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the moment. Yeah, and they have the possibilities with the outcome to get third. So they have the possibilities of homing a home game with the possibility of fourth and fifth, which most likely 6. And if they get 6, they end up and all goes well. They most likely playing the Sounders because of right now. If everything ends today and we move forward and say we win, everything moves forward. We are playing Dallas in the first round. Sorry, hold on.
Bless you.
Thank you. And it's moving forward, like Joseph has said. We are nearly in the head-to-head. We're nearly saying we have 6 wins, so they have 5. So we have one more win against them. But again, we're going to Vancouver, which we don't normally win on turf, and Vancouver is a very hard place to win for us in general. And we're also going to be missing some key people in the back line.
That's correct. So going into it, obviously, we all know what's like in Vancouver. Vancouver are missing 2 players. They have Hassel out and Cubis out. For us, the only one that's really guaranteed out is Acosta, because of he didn't play last match. I don't think we'll risk him up there this match. Other players that I think will probably be out is obviously I don't think Chiellini will go up. That might be an out for me. And that's all we know that who will be missing for that. Going into it, players to watch for me, especially from Vancouver, would have to be none other than Brian White, their top scorer. Obviously, Ryan Gould with the top assists. Like Brian White's got 15 goals. Ryan Gould's got 11 goals. So they're the 2 main scorers for them. Assist-wise, Ryan Gould's got 12. And then got Brian White with 4 assists. So if you shut down White and Gould, that's 2 players that if you shut them down, you are going to be great with that. For you, Tony, who do you have to look out for mainly for Vancouver?
I'm going to go very different, and it's just because I feel the reaction is not the players, but the referee and the field and how we play on this field is what we have to look out for. And that's because I feel moving forward, we have one of the best teams in the league. And when we're on top, when we are firing at all cylinders, no one can hold a candle to us. But the thing that is a very kind of equalizer is the field, of course, turf. Not our biggest thing, and playing in Vancouver, but also the referees. For some reason, most fans, they all say the refs hate us. So that is my things to watch out for, to see how the players are going to, how the referee is going to, how the players are going to move forward that way. But if anything, Gould is always the one that's going to be, for player-wise, Gould is the one that I always have to watch out for. He's one of their players that just has a gripe against us.
Mm-hmm. So I just thought, while you're doing that, I thought, look up, let's see who the referee for our match is. The referee for our match is Fotis Bazokos. I'm going to guess that's how his name is. He has he done an LAFC game? He's done 1 LAFC game. And that game we drew. Now, which game that was, I'm not 100% sure. I'll look into that and go from there. Let's have a quick look. Here he goes. Who is he? The name doesn't ring a bell to me. That's
which is a good and a bad thing, of course, because you never want to remember the referees. But there are some memorable referees that are known for certain things, and
yes.
referees
All
can
right.
be characters, and I do love that sometimes, but not when they affect the game.
Let's have a look. Bounce off. Alrighty. The one game he did for us
Mhm.
was back in 2019. It was a 0-0 draw against Chicago at home at the Bank.
Okay.
So,
I wonder if I was home for that one.
yeah. So that game there. Here are some names that. Our starting lineup for that game was Miller in gold, Beitashow, Zimmerman, Segura, and Harvey in defense. Atuesta, Mack, and Blessing in midfield. Rossi, Vela, and Ramirez was up top.
Okay.
So going by that, he showed a couple of yellow cards. Seemed like a fairly consistent game. So I'm looking forward to it. There's sometimes we sit there and go, oh, no, not this ref. But you know what? I'm actually looking forward to this.
All right. With that being said, and potential lineups and who's going to show up, what do you think Vancouver and us are going to come up to?
All right. For us, I'm going to say Max in goal.
Okay.
Agree.
Agree.
Hollingshead and Palacios outside backs.
Okay, that's 100%. I'll agree with you on that one because you can't really, unless you want to mix it up. But again, final game of the season, we'll have a rest. Why not? And we've already had like a week's rest, so might as well go all out.
Center backs, I'm gonna go Long and Palencia.
What? Long for center backs?
Yep.
Mario's not available?
Oh no, Murillo. I completely forgot about him. Yeah, I go Long and Murillo. Sorry.
I was gonna say, I'm like, Mario's there. I don't know about Long. Honestly,
Would you do Maldonado?
Yeah, I would do Maldonado. Long is a good replacement for Murillo, and again,
Chiellini's not playing.
Yeah, I know Chiellini's not playing. He doesn't play on turf, and I'd rather have him later on for the playoff run than. I don't think he'll ever play on turf. I think most European players, when they come here, and won't play on this unless they're younger and they get used to it. But the older folks, unfortunately, turf is a no-go. I think I would do Maldonado for that one, and then have Long either substitute in for either or.
Yep. Midfield, I'm going to say midfield. Tillman, Ilie, Bogusz.
I think Tillman rest. I think he's earned the super sub part of it. Ilya is a for sure. I agree with you with that one. Bogusz. Again, crossed off. I want to see him start there, but right now he's also a good super sub. So
that's why I put Tillman in there because Acosta's not going to travel. He was injured last game with an injury.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't risk him coming back on this field.
True, but is he ruled out for this game? Has it been officially announced that he's been ruled out for
it? No, it has not been officially announced. But going by some information I've seen out there, there's talk of he won't be back till late October.
Well, we are in late October. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but like late October could be now, could be next week. So for me, with it being a leg injury, I wouldn't risk it.
If he travels and he plays, I say Acosta. If he doesn't, I'll put Tillman in, and hopefully Duenas flies out with the team so he can be an option to sub in with Kroskov.
Yeah. Up top, I'm going to go Oliveira, Ordaz, and Vela. I'll give Bouanga a little break, have him come on as a sub.
I think I do like that. I do think Ordaz deserves a start, but I think it goes back to the top three, which is our official best winning of winning is Bouanga, Oliveira, and Vela. Again, Oliveira I know is not the best finisher, but he provides enough danger where people gives enough space for Vela and Bouanga to make those crazy runs and be open, and they have to keep an eye on him. Sub-wise, Ordaz is there. We also have Buke there as well, so it's going to be okay.
No, I want Ordaz to get another crack. He played 62 minutes. He did great. Maybe, either do the same lineup or change Bouanga for Vela, so Bouanga has a little bit of a break. But I think having Vela come off the bench, especially last game, was actually a nice surprise, and it was good that way. So I do want to see Ordaz start. That's what I would like. Now going for Vancouver, I don't see much change from the last lineup. You had attacking goal. Backline was Labdora, Vasilinovic, and Blackman. I expect to see Blackman start. Former LFC player. They always want to start them against us. Lier, Vitti, Berhalter, and Adigubi in the midfield as defensive midfielders. Holliet and Gould as attacking midfields, and White up top. Gould and White guaranteed starters, plain and simple. But I expect to see that be their lineup. They've had a long break like us, so coming in, I expect to see that. Mm-hmm. Is there anyone that you expect to be a surprise lineup for them, or?
I think like everyone I don't see anyone really change from the last game against Seattle. Maybe Brown or no Browns or no, I don't. From their last lineup, I don't see anything changing. Again, that's like their best lineup for the tie, and it's been keeping them intact. Again, they're trying to play for a playoff position, home playoff game position. So I expect them to come out with what the lineup was there. I don't disagree. I want to, but there's nothing to disagree on that one.
No, there isn't. So that's what we think coming up for this game. We'll get back into some of the comments from you guys. Now, where were we?
Are the Galaxy still in the MLS? Unfortunately, yes.
As long as they keep going how they're going, I'm happy with that. You always need that one rival that always steps up for our game but can't do anything for the rest of the year. So stay how they're going. We're happy with that. Dave Cummings, we need the lads to perform. This will set the tone for the cup run. It will. So we'll see what we had to do. Soccer USA, if you had to pick your current top three LSU players, whom would you pick?
Well, let's go for Bouanga. That's going to be the top one.
Yeah,
it's just
plain simple. I'm going to say Bogusz.
Okay.
Since he's moved into midfield, amazing. And I'm going to go Hollingshead. With taking him out of defense, and I think it'll be a lot different down there.
Hollingshead, I'll agree with you on that. He's a very impactful player because we don't have that many wing, like right or left back options, and he fills that position really well. And of course, has the opportunity to score when he goes up there. So he is one of those that is top three. But I'm honestly going to say Ilie. If we don't have Ilie on the field, we're kind of lost. And he is the true captain on the field. I know Vela has the band and everything, but if you look on the field, who's the person who is controlling the field, flow of motion? Ilie acts, plays like our captain.
Yeah, no, I do agree with that. So yes, again, what would you say is the biggest issue with Buke and Gonzalez? Buke, I'm not 100% sure with. Gonzalez, I think he's not getting a love from Joseph, so he's not playing up to his potential. So Joseph, show him more love and he'll start scoring.
Buick, I feel like he's just still developing into the player that he needs to be, pushing harder than he's trying to improve himself. You know what I mean? He's a European player, a young European player, one of the scouted out for his national team and unders, but he's not performing the way he should be performing. With Gonzalez, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt as much as I shouldn't. He came in half season, which is hard to integrate into a system, got put into a very difficult position in the Monterrey game. Let's be honest. I didn't agree with that action. Put him in another one to get associated minutes with the team than an actual elimination game. But he is not the number 9. He's a number 9, but the number 9 that we need in our front line. He is a very more distributor, like be there when the ball is and be able to pass it and get the person open, but not the grinder goal that you expect from a former players that we needed.
Yeah, I agree with that. Should we start a GoFundMe to credit Guzman Tifo to help recruit him? No, I think we've already got enough recruitment going on there for him if we do get him, if he wants to come to the MLS. What's it like being an Australian fan, being an Australian LFC fan? Do people ask what the hat is? Yeah, I guess it comes from time to time. I'm trying to spread the word of not only the MLS, but LFC through Australia. I've actually got a couple of other people around Australia. One of them based out of Adelaide, who's a Timbers fan. You've got an Atlanta fan up in Sydney. So every now and then we try and catch up if we're interstate and just have a couple of beers and enjoy it and all that kind of stuff. And also, are there any young talents in Australia else you should take a look at? Funny you should mention that.
Oh, God.
The A-League actually starts this weekend. So if you're up for late nights this weekend, tune in, have a look at it. There are some young kids that are coming through right now. For example, there was a player that played in Australia last year, Qual, who signed a deal with Newcastle. He got loaned out to Hearts last season, and then he's been loaned out again this year. He's 18 years old, and go from there. No, we do not drink Foster's. That's the stuff we ship to you guys, so we don't have to drink it.
But Foster's Australian for beer, though.
It's absolutely horrendous. I'd say that we drink more Coronas in Australia than we do Foster's.
But it's not Australian for beer, though.
I know. And Black and Gold Shoulder, Marius G shouldn't be in the squad again. Give him time. And when Joseph shows him love, he'll show love back to us. That's what we'll go with there. I think that does it for all of those. So let's get into final thoughts. Tony, lead us off.
Final thoughts for the game is drink responsible. I can't even speak right now. Sorry. For some reason, every time I do the pod, I always take a nap right before the pod, so I'm catching up and waking up. So apologies. If you're out in Vancouver, have fun. Make sure you're dressed for the right. I think it's somewhat cold, but so you don't have to worry about a very cold winter. If you're going to the watch parties, have fun. This is the last regular season watch parties that we'll have moving forward, and then of course playoff starts, and then we'll start having those, so it should be fun. And then of course I'll segue into them, but it's okay not to be okay. Check up on your loved ones. I know personally from myself, my father has been going through a bit of a difficult rush the last couple of weeks, and me and him have been spending more time going to the gym together. And, he's been loving that. So just check on him, even going to the gym, playing games with friends, catching up on Formula One, which is here in Vegas. So if you're in Vegas and, can catch that, have fun with that. If you have the money, let's just be honest. I think it's the most expensive Formula One ticket ever. But again, Vegas is Vegas. And yeah, it's okay not to be okay. is a pin that I did buy from Hot Topic that says it's okay to be okay, and it does donate. Yeah, it does donate to the cause. So with that, I pass that on to Bam.
Yeah, again, guys, mental health is huge. It's massive for not just me, but for everyone else here. Being on the show with the boys has helped me with my mental health and all that kind of stuff. You know, every now and then, just go for a walk. Say, hey, let's go for a hike. You know, all that kind of stuff that can help with everything. Just make sure that you check in on your mates. Conversations can save a life, and just go out and do all that kind of stuff. For everyone that's gone up to Vancouver, have fun. Don't get into too much trouble because it is international. You can get banned from traveling internationally if you do naughty things. You can get banned from going to Canada and all that kind of stuff. So just behave yourselves. Don't get into too much trouble and have fun. Now, Tony, final word of the day.
Stay golden, Los Angeles.
And from me to all you guys, stay golden.
Thank you for listening to the Heart of LAFC. Make sure to leave us a rating and review on iTunes or Stitcher. Shoulder to shoulder, the black and gold is taking over.